Staying the course of the social partnership, ground broken for gold mine water supply system, and Thompson Town gets multipurpose centre. I'm Stacey Ann Smith with Jamaica House Weekly. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller last week led a retreat of the Partnership for Jamaica National Council, where she reaffirmed government's resolve to strengthen the coalition. She said building social capital, trust and understanding were all important preconditions and contributors to inclusive economic development.
Given the state of the world economy and our vulnerabilities, Jamaica is staying the course and working our way systematically towards stronger and more sustainable growth. Whatever successes we can point to will come as a result of a national effort. Government cannot do it alone. It is important that we collectively take stock of where we are and together increase our efforts to arrive at where we want to be.
Members of the partnership also heard from former Barbadian Prime Minister Owen Arthur, who spoke of his country's experience with the social partnership model. The group also heard from cabinet ministers and other members who gave updates on the economy, investment, national security and women's issues.
Today we're starting the process for an important water project to improve water supply to more than 5,000 persons.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller breaking ground for the upgrading of the gold mine water supply system in West Central St. Catherine. The $75 million project is being carried out through a partnership between the National Water Commission and the Rural Water Supply Limited. At Friday's ceremony, the Prime Minister outlined the scope of works.
Repair the water channels to increase the volume of water from sources, installation of meters to measure the inflows at the gold mine spring source, replacing and upgrading of filters at the plant, repairs to the retaining walls and access bridge at the plant, installation of standby pumps, upgrading of the motor, starter and electrical works for the relift pumps, and repairs to the Bellas Gate Cocoa Ridge tank.
And before that ceremony, Mrs. Simpson-Miller met with the Board of Harmonization Limited. The company updated the Prime Minister on its work to develop the 2,300-acre Harmony Cove property into a tourism project in Trelawney. Prime Minister Simpson-Miller also made some time last week to welcome the new Mexican ambassador to Jamaica. The two spoke on expanding cooperation in tourism, investment, education and culture. And Mrs. Simpson-Miller was delighted to meet Jovante Anderson, the 2015 Lafayette Scholarship recipient. Last year, the college launched a scholarship fund in honor of the Prime Minister's participation in its commencement ceremony. Prime Minister Simpson-Miller was also conferred with an honorary doctorate from the Philadelphia-based institution. The minister responsible for information was also kept busy this past week. In addition to hosting the weekly Jamaica House press briefing, Senator Sandra Faulkner opened an $8 million multipurpose center in Thompson Town, Clarendon. The facility houses a post office, poor relief office, homework center and a market.
This is an investment in your community. It is an investment in you and an investment in your children. This complex must be regarded as a community asset and it should be treated as such. Graduates, I pray for God's blessings upon you. Go and live your best life, a life without limits, and a life full of possibilities.
Words of encouragement for the outgoing grade 6 students of the Mayfield Primary School in St. Elizabeth. Minister Faulkner also had a word for parents and guardians who sow seeds of doubt, fear and failure in their children.
Parents must believe in the capacity of their children. As parents, you should never let your children feel as though they are worthless. Do not crowd their space with negativism. Rather, use your words and actions to encourage and build confidence. Love your children unconditionally. Bond with them and embrace them. Encourage them, support them, and protect them.
And that's how we close this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for the latest stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.